Good morning, everybody. Today we'll be playing some more Double Masters Draft. I will be doing a Phantom League, so there'll be no rare drafting, which is kind of upsetting because I need some Mishra's Baubles, but at the same time, it's whatever. Brutaclad, definitely a good card we can take and make a very successful artifact deck around Brutaclad. I'm also tempted to take Salvage Titan as well for the artifact theme, though I'm not sure if that's actually what we want to be doing. We could take like Mishra's Bauble or Fairy Mechanist, which is probably actually a little bit better because I don't think Salvage Titan's very good. Yeah, let's take Brutaclad and Fairy Mechanist. Ooh, 3-ball. Let's take a look here. So we get to anticipate for an artifact when we play this card. Brutaclad. Creature tokens you control have haste. Beginning of combat on your turn, make a weird token. So we want tokens, not just artifacts, but tokens as well. 3-ball seems kind of fun, but I think I'm better off taking either Chromatic Star for fixing, maybe even Hinder or Battle Rattle Shaman. We could also take Lightning Axe. Lightning Axe is excellent removal. And there's a slight Reanimator sub-theme. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to mute that audio. There's a slight Reanimator sub-theme in the artifact deck because of Argivian Restoration, so I'm going to take Lightning Axe, actually. Meddling Mage. As it enters the battlefield, name a spell, they can't cast it. It's pretty good. There's also a Sundering Titan. I kind of like Sundering Titan, and I also kind of like Pentad Prism. Pentad Prism is pretty excellent ramp. I'm going to take Sundering Titan. Mesmeric Orb. Whenever permanence becomes untapped, that permanence controller mills a card. I don't know if you could build a mill deck in this format. I just don't know if there's enough to actually do it. So we can take our Argivian Restoration and have like our little Reanimator piece here. There's a Sphinx of the Guild Pact, which I don't feel like is that good. Same with like Flayer Husk. Although, Germ tokens are tokens, and we could definitely pump them up that way. I'm going to start with our Argivian Restoration and we'll see what happens. Okay, Magus of the Abyss. This card is strong, but frequently targets itself. If you have the ability to make tokens, you could basically put your opponent in the Abyss, and it's very good then. Most of the tokens we can make right now are artifacts, so Magus of the Abyss probably ends up targeting himself. Plus, he's out of our colors a little bit. Black is an okay color to play with blue and red in this format from what I've seen, but I think we're going to take Kazul's Toll Collector, just in case we get a bunch of equipment shenanigans going on. Okay, Clone Shell. What does Clone Shell do? Look at the top 4 cards of your library, exile one face down, put the rest on the bottom. When it dies, turn it face up. If it's a creature card, put it on the battlefield under your control. Okay, so it's a way to cheat out big creatures, which actually kind of seems fair in this deck, because we do have a Sundering Titan. I think, though, Thirst for Knowledge is going to be better, just because in the more generic case, it's a little more useful. So we're going to take Thirst for Knowledge. Deep Glow Skate. When it enters the battlefield, double the number of each kind of counter on any number of target permanents. Okay, it's also sack an artifact, proliferate. Rapacious Dragon could help us get to Sundering Titan, and it's a 5-mana 3/3 flyer. Does kind of like fix our mana a little bit. We don't have enough cheap artifacts for me to be running something like Throne of Geth right now. I think I'm just going to take the Dragon. A Relic Runner can be quite aggressive in a deck that plays a lot of artifacts. Serra Sphinx, though, is incredibly good, because it's just a blue Serra Angel, which some people would argue is an improvement. So I'm going to take Serra Sphinx. Okay, Salvage Titan and Mishra's Bauble came all the way around. I kind of want to play Salvage Titan, but I don't think I can make it work. I don't think I want 2 Argivian Restorations, not yet, anyway. So I'm going to take Mishra's Bauble. 3-ball came around. There's some sense that I could do this as a way to tax my opponent, but we don't have a way to like cheat it into play yet. Tell you what, if we end up opening a Mana Crypt, this is probably pretty good. I don't know if I would actually play Hinder, so we'll take 3-ball. Don't know if I'm playing it. 3-ball actually synergizes with Pentad Prism if you have 3 colors, because then you can put 3 counters on this, and then if you get rid of 3-ball, you've made mana. Like, additional mana. I don't think I'm splashing white. Meddling Mage is good, but I'm going to take Pentad Prism. This also sticks around as an artifact after you use it, so you can like freely sacrifice it if you need to. Guess I put Fortify in the sideboard. I kind of miss having my sideboard over here, but I guess it's whatever. We'll take Weapon Surge. And Heartless Pillage in the sideboard. Okay, so I feel like we have the start to a good Izzet artifact deck. Wurmcoil Engine. Oh man, Wurmcoil. Wurmcoil seems excellent. So, definitely taking Wurmcoil, 100%. Do we want Imperial Recruiter? I don't think we do. Imperial Recruiter is good, but, like, I think we're better off taking something like Culling Deus or even Ichor Wellspring. Or we could take, like, Galvanic Blast to make sure that we get in the damage. Actually, I like that. Let's take Wurmcoil, and let's take Galvanic Blast. I want to move Trinisphere over to the sideboard. I don't think we're playing that. But man, Wurmcoil is a hell of a card to reanimate with Argivian Restoration. So this deck is kind of like blue-red trash for treasure. Oh, I just realized I may not have mentioned why I don't have a face cam today. So there's no face cam today because a bulb burned out and I can't get the lighting correct in, like, this half of the basement. So I have to go buy a bulb. I just can't yet this morning. Okay. So there's a Thirst for Knowledge or a Thopter Engineer to play here, both of which are good. Thirst for Knowledge is a discard outlet for our big artifact creatures. Thopter Engineer, though, gives our big artifact creatures haste, as well as makes a token. I think I take Thopter Engineer here. Thirst for Knowledge is very good, and I would definitely pick one up, but I think I want the Thopter Engineer. Alright, so there's an Adaptive Automaton, another Galvanic Blast, a Bloodshot Trainee, another Argivian Restoration, another Fairy Mechanist. So it looks like what we're doing is open. I'm going to take Galvanic Blast. I think that card is excellent. So Dismantle, destroy target artifact. If it had counters on it, put that many 1/1 counters or charge counters on an artifact you control. So this is kind of a sideboard card. There's an Argivian Restoration and an Expedition Map. Probably could take Expedition Map just to, like, have artifacts on board. I don't think we're playing Flooded Grove. We could play Relic Runner. We're a little light on creatures, and Relic Runner is a good aggressive creature when you're playing a deck like this. I'm gonna pick up a... yeah, we'll take a Relic Runner. Argivian Restoration goes around pretty frequently. People don't respect it, and it's really good in our deck because we have a Wurmcoil. Okay, so Darksteel Citadel, Mishra's Bauble, or Skinwing. Kind of like taking the Bauble here. It just helps us keep our deck count low, and it can sit on the board for a while for, like, Galvanic Blast, Metalcraft if we need it to. Skinwing is good. I wouldn't mind the Tron lands, because obviously we have Wurmcoil and Sundering Titan. So I could, like, start picking Tron lands and see if I can get an Expedition Map or two to help cheat out our big dudes, but I'll take the Bauble for now. Okay, there's an Expedition Map, a Fairy Mechanist, a Restoration. There's also a Yavimaya's Embrace. This card is nuts. Mind control, and the creature gets bigger and gains trample. I think I'm going to take Fairy Mechanist. This is just, like, good value. Can help us find some of our artifacts. I kind of want an Expedition Map, just on the off chance we get Tron lands, and we can just use it for fixing, but I think Fairy Mechanist is more useful in the general sense. Oh, wow, okay. So, Glimmer Void would be very nice, especially because we have a number of artifacts we can play to keep us from sacrificing it. I still want to take the Tron land, and Lightning Axe would also be excellent. But there's an Izzet Charm, and Izzet Charm does everything here. It counters a spell, it shocks a creature, or it loots and puts our gigantic creatures in the grave for Argivian Restoration. So we gotta go Izzet Charm. It's just like the role player here. I don't think I mind a Lightning Greaves. Lightning Greaves seems kind of fun to put on, like, I don't know, a Sundering Titan. Cathartic Reunion is a way that we can get more cards in the grave and draw cards. We could just, like, take a bunch of effects like this, and then we need to pick up 1 or 2 Argivian Restorations, and we're just good to go. I'm going to take Lightning Greaves, though, because I want stuff that sticks on the board for Metalcraft. I think that's slightly more important. Tamer Battle Rage seems great. Could stick it on, like, one of our huge guys and do a ton of damage. There's another Relic Runner. Yeah, I'll take a Relic Runner. Argivian Restoration came around just as we anticipated. We're not playing black cards, so I'll take another Tamer Battle Rage. Surge Node seems okay. Probably not playing it, though, because we're not... Surge Node is great when you play things like Dice Factory, and I'm really glad that they reprinted Surge Node and last pick Argivian Restoration, by the way. Surge Node and, what's it called, Core Tapper? Because those are really fun to play with something like Everflowing Chalice or Astral Cornucopia. It's just kind of like build your own soul lands, and they're modern legal. Oh man, okay. Alright, well then. we probably will not have enough artifacts for Time Sieve, and it's slightly out of our colors, which is unfortunate because taking extra turns is one of my favorite mechanics in the game. But I think we need to start with a Time Sieve. I'm definitely taking a Lux Cannon because holy crap, Lux Cannon. I love Lux Cannon. There's a Clone Shell, which, like I said, could be good, but I think I'm going to take an Everflowing Chalice because I want some ramp. We have plenty of reanimation spells, plenty of discard outlets and stuff now. So we're going to focus on stuff like these. We're going to take Lux Cannon and Everflowing Chalice. Alright, Cascade Bluffs is fixing. Pyrite Spellbomb is a cheap shock effect. It can draw us a card. It can... what was I going to say? Can turn on Metalcraft for Galvanic Blast. I actually am really tempted to take Pyrite Spellbomb. And I wouldn't mind Metallic Rebuke. It looks like what I'm trying to do is like super open. We don't have any double red. We have a lot of double blue because we have a lot of Argivian restorations. I think I take the Spellbomb. Okay, Rolling Earthquake. X damage to each creature without horsemanship, so each creature, and then each player. Alright. There's a Mana Reflection, Sphinx Summoner. I think I'm just going to take Lightning Axe. It's excellent removal. Can discard a big artifact. Argivian Restoration hits artifacts, not just artifact creatures, so we can reanimate Lux Cannon if we wanted to. Could also take a Sift, but I like the powerful removal, so we'll take Lightning Axe. Okay, there's a Springleaf Drum. We don't have a ton of low drop creatures, though. Is it time to take a Clone Shell? It's either that or take Accomplished Automaton. And I think I take the Automaton, even though it's not the most impressive, because if I can play this for 4 mana, I think I successfully will win. We could take Metallic Rebuke, but... Exploration. How is this late? Is no one playing green? I would try and splash for an Exploration, I think. Because this is pack 3, there's no way I'm getting Tron. How can I splash? I have Pentad Prism, and that's about it. Of course, if I play a little green, Pentad Prism is actually better. I'll take an Exploration. That card's nuts. Another Fairy Mechanist or another Pyrite Spellbomb. We are still pretty light on creatures. There's also a Pongify. Wow. I don't know what other people are drafting in this format, but things like Austere Command are coming around the table, which is frightening to me. I think I take a Pyrite Spellbomb. Isochron Scepter. Oh, Isochron Scepter, Galvanic Blast, or Izzet Charm seems amazing. I am absolutely doing this. Buried Ruin would be good. Being able to buy back an artifact. It's just another way that like just makes discarding artifacts okay, but we're taking Isochron Scepter. We're doing nasty things. What is Well of Ideas? When enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards. At the beginning of each player's draw step, they draw an additional card. At the beginning of your draw step, you draw 2 additional cards. That seems dangerous. Manamorphose. Manamorphose helps us splash for Exploration if we want to. Parasitic Strix, we have no black permanents, so we're not going to take Parasitic Strix. Metallic Rebuke could be good, but I'm just going to take Manamorphose for now. I don't think I would actually be playing Metallic Rebuke. Dalkin Infuser can put charge counters on Lux Cannon or Everflowing Chalice, which makes it slightly better than usual. It is expensive, though. Otherwise, we take like another Restoration, I guess. Darksteel Citadel helps with Metalcraft for Galvanic Blast, and we can play it with a relatively low cost. I don't think we're playing any of these. Metallic Rebuke can go on the side. Veteran Explorer to the side, I guess, and a Pongify for additional removal. Okay, well, we have something of a deck here. Let's group creatures separately and take a look at what we're dealing with. Wow. Alright, we have a lot of playable cards. So, I don't know, Manamorphose Exploration seems like it might have been a stretch. We'll cut a Temur Battle Rage. Probably not Weapon Surge, we're not going wide enough for that. Darksteel Citadel will probably be in the deck, but I'm going to cut it just so it's easier to look at the rest of it for now. Okay, so Isochron Scepter, good with Lightning Axe, good with Temur Battle Rage, good with Izzet Charm, good with Galvanic Blast. I really like Isochron Scepter in this setup here. We have no equipment, so Kazul Toll Collector is leaving the deck. It's possible that we should just like go big and not worry about Relic Runners, but we need to get in some damage early, I think. Doesn't have to be a lot, but we need to like put pressure on our opponent, keep them on their back foot, and then play big, giant, annoying things. I have to cut 7 cards. That makes me uncomfortable. Maybe we go down to 2 Restoration. So for discard outlets, we have Lightning Axe, Thirst for Knowledge, Izzet Charm, which seems good. We could just run one Mishra's Bauble. Let's see. I think Vidalcan Infuser might be ambitious. It's good with literally 2 other cards and is otherwise just a 1/4. So I think we're going to cut it. Not that I don't love Lux Cannon. I have built multiple decks around this in Modern across my history playing it. And, I mean, the flavor text just says it all. There are a few problems that can't be solved by putting a hole in the world. Let's see. Maybe we cut Automaton? No, that can't be right. I'm going to cut the Dragon. And now I need to cut 3 cards, and they probably ought to be non-creature. I really like Lightning Greaves, because I want to haste. I want to put boots on a worm. That's what I want to do. I cut Temur Battle Rage. Like, while nuts, we're not trying to, like, burst down our opponent early, which is what Temur Battle Rage really excels at. 2 more cards. 2 more cards. What other 2 cards can we cut? Something here has got to give. Alright, we're gonna cut the Greaves. I can't think of what else to cut. So I don't want to cut too many more creatures, and we already have Thopter Engineer with Grant Haste. And maybe we cut a Spellbomb. Spellbomb is so good, though. It needs to be a non-creature that we cut as well. Yeah, I think I cut Bauble. And I think we got ourselves a deck. Seems good to me. Alright, cool. I'll see you guys in round 1. Alrighty, here we go. Round 1. Just took a quick break to check the recording quality, and I'm pretty pleased with how the audio for this one is turning out. I hope it's a little more easy to listen to than some of my previous videos have been. Turns out, Kano is really dumb because he didn't realize there is a gain dial on the back of the microphone that he has never looked at, and it was cranked all the way to maximum. So like anything that happened in the entire house got picked up by the mic, and anything that was close was like popping and crackling and otherwise a bad time. So we're going to keep this just because we can dump an Automaton and draw cards, I think. Like, Izzet Charm makes this hand okay, I think. So we're going to start Mountain. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent untaps. They play a Mountain and pass. We untap. We draw Thirst for Knowledge. I think that changes things slightly. We're going to play a Penthead Prism. If we absolutely have to Izzet Charm, we still can, but I think we're just going to Thirst for Knowledge next turn. The opponent plays a Mountain and a Kazul Toll Collector. Well, that is probably going to get Izzet Charmed. We do get an Argivian Restoration, so play an island, pass the turn. Okay, opponent goes to combat, attacks. Yeah, that's fine. Bloodshot Trainee. Okay, let's go ahead and get thirsty. We'll discard an artifact, and it'll be Accomplished Automaton. We untap, draw Pyrite Spellbomb. We have a few options here. We could play Citadel, play Spellbomb, Blast, and Charm. We can Argivian Restoration, just getting back our 6/7 or 5/7 with a 1/1, whatever we want. Or we could play a Lux Cannon and start charging up a Lux Cannon, which I don't think is actually good. I kind of like the Pyrite Spellbomb play. Play Spellbomb, because this lets us just pass. We do have Metalcraft for Galvanic Blast. We can take 5 damage if they just attack. I would rather wait to see if they have any combat tricks, or try and just nuke these creatures at end step. Okay, opponent plays a Darksteel Axe. You're going to equip it. Well, alright. Galvanic Blast. Pyrite Spellbomb. Okay. Crisis Averted. We play a Glint Sleeve Artisan. They make a 1/1. Alright, no reason to Izzet Charm right now. Draw Restoration. Play a Mountain. Go ahead and put our 7-drop onto the battlefield. And we'll make a Servo. Alright, pass the turn. Okay, opponent untaps. Plays a Battle Rattle Shaman. Pumps the Servo. And passes. Alright, we untap. Draw Relic Runner. Play an island. Oops, I tapped for that wrong. I meant to tap 2 of these in a Darksteel Citadel, but put a charge counter. Go to combat, attack for 5. Okay, pass the turn. Now we're just going to be Izzet Charm Shock Mode this turn. So hopefully I don't miss the 7th mana here. Okay. Opponent equips the Glint Sleeve Artisan. Goes to combat. Battle Rattle pumps itself. Opponent attacks. Oh, shock here. Chump. Okay. Equips to Battle Rattle. We draw Pyrite Spellbomb, so charge up Lux Cannon, play Spellbomb, go to combat, attack for 5, take our opponent to 10, play Relic Runner, pass the turn. Man, I think we have an incredible amount of removal versus our opponent's deck. So we have 2 Galvanic Blast, 2 Spell Bombs, or 1, I can't remember if I cut one, and then Izzet Charm and Lightning Axe. So we should be fine versus any deck like this, because we just burn everything out. Okay, opponent decides to equip to the Servo. They go to combat. Battle Rattle pumps the Servo, and they attack with just the Servo, so kill the Servo. Opponent plays a Pure Steel Paladin and a Flare Husk. I get to draw a card. This is almost worth restorationing a Spell Bomb just to get rid of that Pure Steel, because otherwise they might draw a lot of cards. They seem to have a lot of equipment in their deck. So we're going to kick Everflowing Chalice twice. Oh shoot, I didn't think about that. I need a red mana still. I should have kicked that just once. Let's see. Charge counter on Lux Cannon. Go to combat. I mean, if they had like land double fortify, we might die. I'm just going to attack with Relic Runner. We'll hold back the Automaton this turn. Take him to 8. Opponent plays an Ancestral Blade. Gets a token. They draw a card. Opponent can equip anything for free now. This is exactly the kind of shenanigans I was worried about. Sickle Slicer. Okay. Opponent draws a card. I might be cannoning that Pure Steel Paladin. Okay. Opponent suits up the Paladin. Decides to suit up the Germ token. Suits up the Germ token even more. If they do decide to go all in on the token and attack, we will block and just reanimate it. Because we have enough mana, we can cast anything else. They do. Okay. This opponent goes to combat. Targets the Germ token with Battle Rattle Shaman. Attacks. We block. Okay, they trade. I'm glad I did not do the restoration play last turn. Also, had I not used the Penthead Prism mana, I definitely would have been capable of doing it. Okay, opponent's going to, looks like, suit up Pure Steel Paladin. Okay, we untap. We draw an island. Well, Lux Cannon, kill Pure Steel. Let's go ahead and Restoration, Reanimating Automaton. Okay, make a Servo, pass the turn, no attacks. This opponent's probably going to do some equipping. They play a mountain. They play Swiftblade Vindicator. That's kind of scary. It has Trample and Double Strike. Come on, Wormcoil. They need our big wormy boy. Good news is, if we draw a Galvanic Blast or Lightning Axe, which is 1 and 7, we can kill Swiftblade Vindicator this turn. Their opponent will not be able to get its toughness over... wow, they have Sunforger as well. So, Battle Rattle pumps the Soldier. Okay, we untap. We draw land. Charge counter on Lux Cannon. Do we attack here? I don't think so, because I think our opponent just kills us if we do. Because this is, makes it a 5-2, makes it a 7-4, makes it an 8-5, makes it a 10-5. How much mana? It's 3, 4, 2, and 2. That's 11. They can't equip everything, but if they equip here and here, I think that makes it large enough that we actually have to stay back and block. Alright, play an island, pass the turn. They could also, if they have like a path to exile, use Sunforger to go get it. Opponent untaps, plays a land. They could equip these 3 things to it. Alright, there's a Sunforger. There's a Darksteel Axe. Okay, Battle Rattle pumps it up to a 10 power attacker. They go to combat. So we're going to take 13 damage if we block with the Automaton. Alright, well we gotta draw a burn spell. Okay, they're unequipping Sunforger. Brimstone Volley. Nice, getting us with the Morbid. So we don't even get to untap. Next card was a land, and then a Sundering Titan. So we weren't winning that game, unfortunately. Okay, so versus our opponent's deck that has a lot of equipment. What do we want? We could bring in Pongify. That does reset the equipment on a creature that's attacking, but, like, I think we ought to just burn them out. Like, this shouldn't really have been a problem. And I made a couple of critical misplays that game, because I wasn't paying attention. I was like, if we put Galvanic Blast on an Isochron Scepter and keep Metalcraft online, our opponent will never actually resolve a creature. Alright, we'll play first. Well, I think I'm going to keep. We might have to be cycling Spell Bombs, but as soon as we get red mana, we're fine. Start Spell Bomb. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Plains, passes, draw an island, play Spell Bomb. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays Plains and a Pure Steel Paladin. Okay, well, come on, red mana. He said, come on, red mana. Oh no. Okay. I did that because if we drew a red land for turn, we wouldn't want to crack these. So we can play an island, play Everflowing Chalice, sack Pyrite Spellbound, but then we can't do anything else. So I think we just have to try and hit a red land. Red land. Yes. Okay. We're just going to use Galvanic Blast. Whew. Next turn, we kick an Everflowing Chalice twice, and then we follow that up with a Wormcoil Engine. Opponent plays a Glint Sleeve Artisan. Gets a 1/1. We untap, we draw an island. Kick Everflowing Chalice twice. Pass the turn. Opponent attacks for 3. That's fine. Plays a Sickle Slicer. We untap, we draw Argivian Restoration. Play an island. Play a Wormcoil. Leaving up the emergency Lightning Axe if we needed to. Alright. As long as they don't have Path to Exile, I think we actually are just going to win this game off of the strength of Wormcoil itself. Okay. Opponent untaps. Opponent is thinking hard. Alright. Opponent goes to combat and passes. We untap. Draw Fairy Mechanist. Go to combat. Attack for 6. They're going to upgrade it. Alright, sure. And, I'm not sorry about this. Reanimate Wormcoil. Double trouble. Oh, jeez. Probably just gonna thirst for knowledge at our opponent's end step here. Okay, opponent plays a Bloodshot Trainee. That's fine. Thirst for some knowledge. Let's discard 2 lands. And I'm also very tempted to put Lightning Axe on Isochron Scepter here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Play Isochron Scepter. Go ahead and exile Lightning Axe. I'm like, sure, we have to discard a card every time we do this, but opponent concedes. Multiple Wormcoils into repeated Lightning Axe. Oh man, I knew this deck was sweet. Alright, run it back for game 3. Yeah, we'll keep this. Okay, opponent starts Plains. We start Spellbomb. If our opponent plays nothing that of any consequence, we'll just play Relic Runner. If they play something like Pure Steel, which they're not going to, we would just terminate it with Extreme Prejudice. Okay, play Relic Runner. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays a Plains. It's in for 2. Yeah, we're not going to trade. They play Weapons Trainer and equip Ancestral Blade. Okay, play an island. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Plains. I should have played a Mountain, because then I could Izzet Charm and Spellbomb, but I guess I wasn't thinking about that. Opponent is going to Brimstone Volley to kill our creature. Okay. They go to combat. They attack. I think I am going to shock here. Take 4. Okay, we untap. Play a Mountain. Play Fairy Mechanist. There's a Brutaclad or an Isochron. I'll take Isochron because Isochron Izzet Charm seems like it's going to be very good. Rest to the bottom. Pass the turn. We're probably not attacking. Okay. Opponent gets in for 4. Sure. No blocks. Opponent plays Kazul Toll Collector. Draw Spellbomb. Play a Mountain. Play Scepter. Okay. Exiling Izzet Charm. And play Spellbomb. Alright, pass the turn. I think we're pretty close to a stable position here. Opponent untaps. Finally finished my coffee. It's nice because I've been watching the boom mic, and most of the time that I'm drinking, now it doesn't pick up when I'm drinking, so you don't have to listen to that awful noise. Okay, opponent goes to combat, attacks with the Weapons Trainer. Do we block? I think we do. I think this works out quite well for us, because now if our opponent moves the equipment, they lose their creature. And if they don't move the equipment, we just shock it at the end step. They abrade the Scepter, so we only get to do this once. That's kind of disappointing. But it's not the worst thing in the world. Kill Toll Collector first. Okay. Play Fey Mechanist. We'll take a Pentad Prism, rest to the bottom. Play an island. Pass the turn. Well, with Pentad Prism, we'll be able to cast anything in our deck. Oh gosh. That's a Vindicator. And a Sickle Slicer. We untap. We draw an island. Not a lot of good this is going to do us. Man, if that Isochron Scepter had stuck around. Yep. Pass the turn. Gotta stay back to block. I only have 1 card in hand, so hopefully they're just about out of gas. Okay, or not. When it goes to combat, they attack for 9. Well, block here. Go to 1. I think Wormcoil is the only thing that remotely comes close to getting us out of this. And that's not Wormcoil. I think if I had played a little bit differently, I could have bought myself a turn had I, like, left up the proper mana to Pyrite and Shock and whatnot. We would have gotten a Galvanic Blast, and that still wouldn't have done it. Ugh, alright. Well, I'll see you guys in round 2. Surprise, face cam in the middle of this video. Hopefully the audio issues haven't changed at all, and this is still recording at a high quality. I'll have to do a little bit more of a test than I did. But we're back playing Double Masters again. I got a bulb to replace the one that burned out, and then I had to adjust all my chroma key garbage, and... Alright, well, we'll keep. Unfortunately, we don't have a second color yet for Pentad Prism. Start island, pass the turn. Opponent plays an island. We untap, we draw Galvanic Blast. Play an island, pass the turn. We could have played Pentad Prism on 1. I just don't think that was good. Opponent plays an Ichor Wellspring, sure. We untap and we get a Thirst for Knowledge. Well, play an island. Go ahead and Thirst for Knowledge. Discarding an artifact. We'll discard Sundering Titan. Pass the turn. No red mana for a while, it seems. Opponent plays an island. Plays a Salivating Gremlins. Sure. We untap, we draw Wormcoil Engine. Well, I think at this point, we're going to have to play Pentad Prism. We could play Fey Mechanist, but I don't think that can get us to red mana. And if anything, it's going to dump 3 mountains to the bottom. I know it. So, play a Pentad Prism. Gosh, okay. We do not have Metalcraft, so no Galvanic Blast for Salivating Gremlins. But plays a mountain, plays a Fairy Mechanist, sure. They get a Joyra's Familiar, okay. Bumps up Salivating Gremlins. They go to combat, they attack for 4. Take 4, go to 16. Get a Lightning Axe. Well, play Fairy Mechanist. Metalcraft active. A Pyrite Spellbomb, rest of the bottom. I think we're going to Galvanic Blast now, so our opponent can't just like remove in response to turn off Metalcraft and make that not a kill spell. Okay, opponent plays an island, plays Joyra's Familiar, goes to combat and attacks, we'll trade. Okay, mountain please. Opponent plays Expedition Map. Isochron Scepter. Well, that technically lets us cast spells. Play Isochron Scepter. Oh, opponent has Metallic Rebuke. And that would have been so good, too. Alright, well, there's nothing we can do about that. Can't pay 3. Play Pyrite Spellbomb. Pass the turn. I think we are going to crack it to draw a card. Oh, I probably should have cracked it on our turn to draw a card, but because we hadn't played a land yet. Okay, opponent plays an Ichor Wellspring for 1. So it looks like they're doing, like, Salivating Gremlins, kind of like a Tog combo sort of thing. Opponent plays a Thopter Engineer, sure. And an Eager Construct, so we get to scry. I guess it was better that we didn't crack it on our turn simply for this. Mountain to the top. Okay, opponent attacks for a bunch. We take 5. Okay, we untap. Draw a mountain. Play mountain. Alright. Pass the turn. We might be cracking that to draw and then, like, blasting this turn. Let's go ahead and do that. Draw a card. Get a Relic Runner. Galvanic Blast. Here. Okay, opponent can only attack for 4 instead of 6. Go to 7. If we top deck a land and can play Wormcoil, golden. Okay, we untap, draw a mountain, play mountain. It's too bad we can't play Thopter Engineer into Wormcoil, but play Wormcoil, pass the turn. F6. Opponent has a Chief of the Foundry, attacks with the Flyers. Okay, we take 5, go to 2. We untap, we draw Restoration. Let's see, what can we do here? We're definitely attacking. We have 6 mana. We can Restoration a Sundering Titan, and then like hold up an Izzet Charm or a Lightning Axe. Or we can Lightning Axe, Izzet Charm, get in for a bunch of damage. That one's probably better. Let's attack first and see what happens, because we could always Restoration Wormcoil. Okay, no blocks for our opponent. This represents 2, 3, 4 power, which probably means this needs to die. Then if we play Thopter Engineer, we can block 2. Kind of like that. So let's Lightning Axe, Chief of the Foundry, discarding Relic Runner. Play Thopter Engineer. Get a Thopter. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent cracks Expedition Map. Gets a Forest. Okay, opponent goes to combat. Block here, block here. Take 2. Okay, opponent plays an island and a Corridor Monitor. We're gonna untap the Sphinx. Sure. We untap, we draw Everflowing Chalice. So let's Restoration Sundering Titan, because it has haste. Destroy 2 of our opponent's lands. go to combat. If we attack with all three, it's lethal, but at the same time, they just block and kill Thopter Engineer. Hit our opponent for a lot. We go up to 12, they go down to 1. And we have an Izzet Charm to help prevent some damage. Opponent sifts. I don't think there's any 1-mana spell they could draw that wouldn't also get Izzet Charmed, or 2-mana spell. They play a forest, they Frogify. Hang on, if I counter that, they attack, we block here, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we counter this. Okay, opponent concedes. They can't race a Wurmcoil, and Wurmcoil too strong. Okay, so opponent is playing a lot of artifacts. Do we have anything for artifacts? I don't think we do. We could play a Metallic Rebuke probably, but we don't have a ton of cheap artifacts. Let's just run it back. Alright, we'll keep this. Opponent starts Mountain. We draw Isochron Scepter. Play Spellbomb. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps, plays a Mountain. Plays Ichor Wellspring, sure. Hope we draw Izzet Charm for Isochron Scepter. We get an Argivian Restoration. Play Mountain. Pass the turn. Opponent plays an island. And a Thopter Engineer. Okay, they get a Thopter. Go ahead and sacrifice Pyrite Spellbomb. We're going to see if we can draw something to reanimate. We did not. Okay, so we're going to take 1. Go to 19. Untap. Draw an island. Play an island. Play Everflowing Chalice on 1. I don't think it's worth sceptering up a Lightning Axe. Might be. Actually, yeah, it just turns all of our lands into 2-mana discard. Kill something. And if we draw something big to reanimate. Okay, opponent plays a Fairy Mechanist. As haste. Gets Sword of Body and Mind. Okay. They attack for 4. We untap. Draw a Mountain. Play Mountain. Pass the turn. That's almost tempting to get hit by Sword of Body and Mind because we're holding 2 reanimation spells. They play Ichor Wellspring. They draw a card. They go to combat. They attack for 4. Sure. We're going to wait till end step to kill anything. Because we'd only be preventing 1 damage, and they could play something more threatening. Okay, that is not something more threatening. Killing Thopter Engineer. Preventing more hasty shenanigans. Untap. Draw Penthead Prism. Do we want to play Penthead Prism? I think we'd rather just discard it, which means I'd probably better off playing a land in case I draw Wurmcoil and I can just cast it. Okay, pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays a land. Plays Chief of the Foundry. Going to equip the Thopter. I think I actually want to get hit here. Gives our opponent a 2-2, but I think that's fine. Opponent does have Metallic Rebuke available. Something worth noting. So opponent goes to combat. Well, you're definitely killing something. We're going to kill Fey Mechanist. Okay. We get a 2-2. We mill 10. There's Wurmcoil. Nice. Alright, pass the turn. I'll try and kill the Thopter. Looks like it works. Opponent cannot attack and do an active Wurmcoil. They play a land. They play Expedition Map. They equip Sword to a token. And we untap. We draw Brutaclad. I think we attack. I think before we do anything else. Okay. Opponent does nothing. I'm going to discard Brutaclad to kill the wolf. Because if we had 7 mana, I could just pay full price. Just pay 5, 1, 2, and we'd only have 4. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Discard a card, kill the wolf. Discard Brutaclad. Man, sceptering up Lightning Axe was absolutely worth it. Opponent attacks for 2. Yeah, you got it. We go to 11. Opponent plays an Eager Construct. We each get to scry. Sure. Mountain to the bottom. We untap. We draw an island. And now, we can play into Metallic Rebuke by playing an island. Which I feel like this late in the game my opponent probably has. But we're going to attack for 6. Yeah, I think we're just going to start full pricing them. I don't want to discard too many more cards right now. But if my opponent does have a... what's it called? Then I'm going to be hurting. Full price Lightning Axe. Kill Eager Construct. Opponent gets in for 2. Sure. Opponent turns Wurmcoil into a 1-1. Sure. Whip Sword. Plays a land. Okay. We untap. Draw Galvanic Blast. This is no longer an artifact creature. We could reanimate Accomplished Automaton. I think we're better off just doing this again. We're going to attack for 1. We could kill it and reanimate it. That would be pretty good, I guess. Okay, opponent plays a Cloud Reader Sphinx. I get to scry 2, 1 on the bottom, 1 on the top. Suit it up. We untap, draw an island. So this time, We have to discard a card, hitting Cloud Reader Sphinx, discarding an island. Galvanic Blast, Cloud Reader Sphinx. Go to combat. Get in for 1. Actually, probably should have attacked into Cloud Reader Sphinx first to just get back Wormcoil. Could have also gotten back Brutaclad, but no, dismantle. How rude. We'll get a Lux Cannon. I have 7 mana. Restoration on Brutaclad is probably better, but I want to blow up permanents. Restore Brutaclad. Go to combat. Make a token. Choose the only token we have. Hit our opponent for 3. Pass the turn. Okay. Opponent plays an island. Concedes. Man, mono Lightning Axe. Just casting a Lightning Axe every turn was brutal. That was awesome. Let's do that again. Also, Sword of Body and Mind killed our opponent. That card is so horrible. In any format where you do grave shenanigans, it's just so bad. Alright, here we go. Round 3. Another hand with no red. Yeah, we're gonna keep. If we draw red, this hand is gonna be excellent. We have 2 turns to draw mountain. Opponent plays a forest. Draw Darksteel Citadel, start island, pass the turn. Opponent plays a plains, passes. Draw Galvanic Blast. Well, I think we are gonna put Penthead Prism on 1. Pass the turn. Opponent plays Crusader of Odric. We draw a mountain. Okay, that changes things. Play Thopter Engineer. Get a token. Then we're going to Galvanic Blast, kill Crusader of Odric, attack for 1. Take our opponent to 19. Opponent 4 mana plays Master Splicer. They have a 4/4 now. Play a mountain, play Fairy Mechanist. Okay, we get nothing. Rest of the bottom in any order. Attack for 3 in the air. Take our opponent to 16. Chatter of the Squirrel. Want to make some squirrels, hits us for 4. Take 4, go to 16. We untap. We draw Galvanic Blast, play Darksteel Citadel. We definitely will have Metalcraft even through a path now. So I think we just Galvanic Blast the token. Then we go to combat, hit our opponent for 3. Pass the turn. Having so much, like, red creature removal in this format is just nuts. Opponent plays a Bloodbriar, a Chromatic Star, which they can use to pump Bloodbriar. Okay, they pass, we untap. Draw an island. Play an island. Play Brutaclad. Telcor Engineer. Okay. Make a token. I think we're just going to make them all haste flyers. Then they can get in. Attack, attack, attack. We could attack here, but that would just kill Brutaclad, so we're not going to. Okay, pass the turn. Okay, opponent cracks Chromatic Star for black. 5 mana. Nazarek, Crawl, Death Priest. Whenever a player sacrifices another permanent, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Oh no. My opponent just has like 2 stars, we're dead. Just like straight up. Okay, we draw Serra Sphinx, which I haven't seen all League. So play the Sphinx, make a token, make them all copies of a haste flyer. Attack, 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 attack. Hit them for a lot. Oh, it has flying. Good to know. Take my opponent to 5. Opponent plays a swamp, plays Voice of Resurgence, plays Kozilek's Predator. Oh no. Oh, that is not good for me. Opponent can make their whole team larger. And just put 2 1/1 counters on everything. We untap, draw Wormcoil Engine, play Wormcoil Engine, go to combat, make a token, make it a flyer, attack. Here, 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 and here. Opponent does only have 1 flyer, and we're going to be gaining a lot of life. Okay, so opponent is going to trade there. They're going to prevent us from gaining life. They're still taking lethal damage in the air. And opponent concedes. Oh, that was close. Man, Wormcoil Engine, MVP. I don't know who I should actually give MVP to, if it's Wormcoil Engine or Lightning Axe. This league, because like they do just crazy amounts of stuff. I actually almost want to bring in Pongify because like Crawl Death Priest is pretty strong. Alright, this hand could be very good. However, I don't think we can risk it. I think we got a mulligan. In theory, this hand is a little better. Opponent mulligan to 5 and then instantly conceded. I was actually looking forward to playing that game, but I mean, I guess I'll take the win. Alright, well, if you guys enjoyed this content as much as I did, please let me know. Leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined. You can also follow me on Twitch, same username on there as you can find me on here. For more content like this, we're probably going to be playing a bit more Double Masters because I'm really enjoying the format at this point. And I'm just going to keep doing Phantom drafts. I'm not going to actually have the cards because it's just too expensive to do real drafts. But yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Thanks for watching. You're all wonderful human beings.